Hola, muy buenas tardes. Estamos aquí en Fares por México. El día de hoy estamos con el entrenador de Lacrosse de España, Mike. Muy buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien, muy bien, gracias. Bueno, primero preguntarte, how have you see to the sport and lacrosse?
How did I get into lacrosse? Or?
Yeah, how have do you think to the lacrosse?
So me personally, I started playing lacrosse when I was 11 years old. We had a coach come into our school to introduce the game to the local area. And then I started playing for a local club in Manchester in England. I then went on to play throughout my club, represented the team up into the seniors, the open age teams. And after I took an injury playing a fair few years ago, I then went into the coaching side of things. So I am the head coach of Spain Lacrosse. I'm also an assistant coach with Team England men's lacrosse as well. So I coach quite a lot of my time.
Okay, thank you. And how have do you notice the Spain team?
So I've been with Spain Lacrosse for the past 4 years now. So the way that we run the program is that we deliver regional camps and clinics across all 4 corners of Spain. So we try and take the program to the different cities that have clubs. We try and coordinate it so that we can deliver junior coaching clinics as well at the same time to give a wider exposure for lacrosse to the bigger kind of Spain community. So in terms of how often we meet, I travel to Spain. Usually pre-COVID, we would go over there once per month, run kind of 3-4 day training camps in the run up to a major tournament. And then we'll run a few a few longer kind of 4 or 5 day camps in the lead up to the tournament itself.
Good job to the Spain, and ¿cómo decirlo? Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah. Veces con mi español.
Okay, ¿cómo? ¿Cuál es el objetivo de esta selección para ti?
For me, the goal for now for the team is we have the European qualifiers coming up. So because the European Championships was postponed and then cancelled because of COVID, we now have to qualify for a Mundial, the Worlds, which is held in LA in 2023. So there is a European qualification tournament. So there's 32 teams, I believe, from Europe who are playing for a few spots, and the top kind of 12 teams from that group will then proceed to go and play in the World. So our focus now is getting the team back together, getting the training program back up and running properly, and getting ourselves ready for what's going to be a really difficult and challenging tournament in April of next year.
Thank you. The good answer. And what do you think of the Olympic Paris in the lacrosse?
Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah, it's taken a long time. I know a lot of people have worked very hard to get it to this point where it can be accepted by the Olympics. The format has changed quite significantly in order to get it into the Olympics, but the new format that they're using is very exciting. The players love it. It's very fun. It's very fast. It's frenetic. We in England we ran a tournament using the new format a few weeks ago, and it was really interesting. The players really took to it really well. We have a tournament this weekend in Scotland for the home nations. So England, Scotland and Wales, who are participating in the new format, which will be a really good time. And the changes in rules, it's always going to frustrate some people, but it's kind of the sacrifice that the game needed to make in order to offer it to that kind of bigger exposure. And if and when we do get into the Olympics in LA in 2028, it'll be huge for the sport of lacrosse.
Yes, the lacrosse is good. In Paris, it's amazing, but yours and the team the team tell you cómo forman ustedes el equipo de lacrosse. ¿Cuál es la posición de cada uno?
No lo sé, no siento.
Oh, okay. But you're the position in the stadium. ¿Cuántos jugadores son en el equipo?
In normal lacrosse, so in field lacrosse, there is 10 players on the field. So you have one goalkeeper, 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, 3 attackers. But in the new format that they're going to take to the Olympics, it'll be 6 players. So 1 goalkeeper and then 5 outfield players who will all play defense, midfield and some attack. So it's much shorter space. The field's a lot smaller. It's more pushing towards kind of a faster paced game. So the size, the pitch is smaller, the team size is smaller, and there's a shot clock. So you only have 30 seconds to get your shot off, which makes it really quick.
Okay. Como entrenador, ¿cómo te sientes en representar a España como entrenador?
How do we train them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as I kind of touched upon before, we train as a full squad. So we have around 35, 40 players across all of Spain. We bring them all together kind of once a month, and we do individual kind of technique clinic focused work. We do competitive drills to really put people through the paces. We focus quite a lot on short-sided games. So 2v2s, 3v3s, 4v4s, and try and get that kind of competitive element. And then we are now looking to take the team to as many real life kind of game situations as possible. So we're looking to get opposition and international games against other European programs. We're looking to play good, solid level kind of English club teams so that we can get that experience of playing at the higher level as a group.
Okay. The second question is when trying start and if her is a league, the liga, si existe alguna liga en España.
See, there is a league in Spain. So there's around 10 clubs at the moment, split all across the country. So everywhere from Bilbao in the north down to Sevilla in the south. And the way that the guys manage the league over there is that 3 of those teams will meet up over the course of a weekend. So they'll go to one central location. So maybe Madrid will travel to Barcelona along with Alicante. They will all play each other over the course of the weekend. They'll kind of socialize, catch up with everybody because it's a really tight-knit community. And then they'll meet again for more competition, maybe 3-4 weeks down the line. So because the country's quite big, the distances are quite intense and challenging for the players. So rather than playing weekly and having to do 4 or 5 hour drives each week, they'll go once per month. They'll play a couple of games against several teams and then go to a different location next time around.
Okay, no, it's a good job for you, for the team, and the last question for me, el objetivo de la selección de España, ¿cuál es para ti? Your goal, the top, the first goal.
The first goal, the main goal for us at the moment is qualification for the world. So finishing in that kind of top 10 position in these European qualifiers and make sure that we can take the team out to the World Championships in LA. That's the kind of first goal for us as a team. As a program, it's just to continue growing the game. So investing in, spreading the word of lacrosse to these youngsters, getting more sticks in more hands of these youth team players so that we can carry on doing the great work in introducing lacrosse to more people.
Right, that's correct. Quería consultarte si conoces algo de la selección de México de lacrosse, si has escuchado.
Yeah, we actually met the Mexico guys when we were in Netanya in Israel in 2018. They were staying near us at the same kind of complex. So we got to know them a little bit. We shared buses with those guys. They're a great bunch. They have, from what I understand, there's a few kind of university program teams in Mexico, and the guys across these teams are just so committed. I've spoken to the few of them via social media a few times, and the commitment that they have to growing the game in Mexico and to carrying themselves as elite level athletes is fantastic. They're a great bunch of guys.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you for the interviews. And está la verdad que muy buena la entrevista que nos estás dando, y agradecerte, Mike. Yo sé que ha sido un poco difícil el tema del idioma, pero bueno, ahí estamos.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias, Mike. Te agradezco mucho, en serio.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.